It's 12 noon on this Tuesday afternoon, March 14, 2017, and it is time now for the Peter Channel New News Report on this Tuesday afternoon, March 14, 2017. Good afternoon, buddy. I'm Peter Wiggins, bringing you news and odds at 12 noon on this Tuesday afternoon. On our top story at 12 noon is we're in the meat and potatoes of this nor'easter here as the snowstorm is blanketing into the northeast. And among the reports, a 9-hour service train passed by on 63rd Street and West Chester Avenue, the Bronx, New York on Tuesday. Above ground service on New York City's subways are suspended as the northeast snowstorm puts 18 million under blizzard warning. We'll have more of that coming up at Peter Channel weather segment of the Peter Channel New News Report. In other news, the worse than expected Congressional Budget Office forecast seems that a certain enforceable meaningful change in Obamacare report bill and now consideration in the House. France Australia was charged Tuesday with misuse of public funds cast a permanent shuttle with its bid to become France's next president. In 2010 and 2011, groups of armed Somali men were hijacking merchant vessels off the smallest coast on the most daily pace as the hostages of Marin National was taken and billions of dollars were lost in ransom and damages and delayed, and Somali pirates just hijacked a merchant ship for the first time in 5 years. The President Obama and asked lawmakers would have more time on Monday to gather evidence related to President Trump's claim that President Obama ordered wiretaps on Trump tower phones during the last year's presidential election campaign. It's Kim again. Nuclear tests. Missile launches in apparent assassinated potential weapon threat to the wipe out the U.S. and South Korea. North Korea seems like a nightmare right out of the Cold War. Amsterdam and the Netherlands. Kyle Jones won the theory. One of the lucky ones he fled bloodshed in Sudan after his family was killed in bomb attacks made to safety in the Netherlands. Workplace bans on wearing of any political, psychological, religious signs such as headscarves are not considered direct discrimination in subquarters rule. A demonstration in Glasgow on Monday after the Scottish Prime Minister Nicole Sturgeon says she will seek permission to hold a new referendum on independence. A congressional plan to make Planned Parenthood ineligible for federal funding would leave many women without services to help them avoid pregnancy, resulting in thousands of additional births, according to our new federal budget analyst. A Clement shouted Trump a cloaked the deep blue for urgent case whistly out of the frame side in the background of recent review. Broken record which seems to suggest former President Obama had surveilled. University of Michigan graduate school programs of business, law, and engineering, medicine, nursing, and education categories ranked in the top 15 in the country once again in this year's U.S. News rankings. Malaysia is about to report 50 North Korean nationals. Venezuela announced that 14 bombs have been found in a mass grave inside the country's largest prison. China issued a message of warning in the United States after the U.S. military recently deployed its new Great Eagle attack drone in South Korea. A judge released Jonathan Tran and accused White House trespasser order for stay near his California home and returned to D.C. for an April court date. A federal judge did deny longer sentence for Dylan Ruthven, who failed to disrupt a plot attack in a Charleston, South Carolina church. Press Secretary Sean Spicer faced questions about a new report on the cost of the number of minute shut under the GOP health plan at Tuesday's briefing. Texas is scheduled to execute 61-year-old James Bigby, who was convicted of killing his friend and his 4-month-old son in a 1987 Fort Worth killing spree. The lawyers for a Mexican drug lord Joaquin El Chapo Guzman had called for the client to be transferred out of solitary confinement due to health concerns. The judge of Obama requests more time to accompany with a White House panel seeking information President Donald Trump tapping an allegation. Attleboro school officials have offered to make their buildings available as polling place in the future, but the cost they would need it with 18 months notice for planning. Van Farmers Schools International Incorporated stock Sumter as host since 2009 after Bill Ackman won a biggest champion and considered drum maker at a loss. Saudi Arabia told OPEC to raise that put back at about 10 million barrels a day in February, reversing about a third of the cuts made the previous month. Neiman Marcus Group Limited, the struggling department store chain that scrapped plans in January for an initial public offering and considered a sale to the company instead. Tokyo Toshiba Corporation actually considered a sale at our strategic option to the U.S. nuclear unit in Western Asset Group said on Tuesday at its expense, are probing the problems that caused that to miss an earnings deadline for the second. Looking at the stocks now. Down 24.65 with 2856.83. SP5 down April 29 was 2365 with 18. And Nasdaq up down 24.09.75 at 851.52 here. Seattle and Arctic in the middle of a record-breaking breaks. Scientists blame a warming climate for most of that, but researchers have now teased out the natural cycle of how Arctic sea ice melts year to year. As a powerful nor'easter moved upstate New York, the Zulu extreme in April July personally said long neck beaters undergone significant change in their labor appears to be fast approaching. Secret risk and photo extended beyond Miami-Dade County. Washington family is taking answers after their 4-year-old son died Friday during a seemingly routine dental procedure that involved a shot of anesthesia. Peter Chell is on 12:05 on this Tuesday afternoon time out for Sports Report. Celtics and the Bruins have an add-off. Kirk Cousins said that contacted downtown in a certain direction not demand trade as Redskins wide receiver Trey Park calls Kirk Cousins a great quarterback, hopes to work with him. And John Lloyd might have a Twitter account, but he's paying attention on online channel link in for Broncos team of Tony Romo. Peter Childers on is out 12:06 on this Tuesday afternoon, and it is time now for a traffic and transit report here. Beep! Let's start you off in MTA where the shuttle buses was placed. Mattapan Charles and the ferry service are canceled today. Kabir Rail operator Blue Level Service and all of its service plan to operate regularly here. And on the subway system, it's looking good so far. Commuter Rail, Framingham and Worcester line train 514-1045 Worcester discovered 15:25 minutes late between Framingham South Station Lane. And on the ferries, they are closed. Looking at highways and byways of New England. You gotta check this out. Wow! Everything is very, very slow in Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, New York State, New York City, Northern New Jersey, Central and Eastern Pennsylvania. So stay off the roads and stay in comforts of your own home until the storm passes here. That's my number one tip. Okay, and now on to the important weather forecast here. And looking at radar, and then it shows the heaviest band of snow stretching around from Ware, Massachusetts, down around Windham, Massachusetts, moving toward the north. And zooming you out just a little bit. It shows a snow covering from Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, New York State, Pennsylvania, northwestern New Jersey, and stretching in Pennsylvania, Ohio, and West Virginia here. And a sleet line stretching from Provincetown, stretching around Wareham, New Bedford, stretching north of Newport, down around central Washington County and Rhode Island, and stretch around North Connecticut and east of Hampton and New Haven, and down to Bridgeport, and stretch around northern and central portions of Long Island, and down around New York City and central New Jersey here. And the rain, it's raining heavily around the Cape Downs and stretch making the way up to New Bedford, down on Rhode Island, southeast Connecticut, and eastern Rhode Island. So this rain line is going to slowly creep up its way up towards Boston in about 1 hour, or 2, or 3. And the rain stretches down from Long Island down around from Long Beach down to Barnegat in New Jersey here. Okay. All right. We are under a winter storm warning remains in effect until 5 p.m. this afternoon as 95 quarter of Rhode Island, Massachusetts, heavy wet snow and strong winds, snow accumulation of 8 to 12 inches along with a trace of ice. Snow accumulation of 8 to 12 inches along with around a trace of ice. Still continue with snowfall rates of 2 to 4 inches per hour before changes to and then rain between 2 and 5 p.m. Snow and ice accumulation make road stretches impossible. The snow and ice of tree limbs or power lines could produce isolated outages, and strong winds lead to blowing snow, reduce visibility, and additional power outages here. And northeast wind about 23 miles gusts up to 60 miles an hour. Visibly 1/4 mile less at times. And a winter storm warning is issued when an average snowfall of 6 inches or more. Expected within a 12-hour period. For 8 inches or more, 24-hour period. Travel will be slow. At best, on well-treated service and practical non-treated service, and like travel in emergency. It must travel, keep an extra flashlight, food, and water with you in case of an emergency here. And I wind warning in effect from now until 6 p.m. this evening for central and southern Rhode Island as well. Southeast Massachusetts winds 23 miles at gusts between 50 and 60 miles an hour. Driving strongest wind gusts late this morning and afternoon. A heavy west snow covered with powerful winds may result in downed trees and scattered power outages here. High wind warning is Issued 116 with a 40 miles an hour, expect at least 1 hour and gusts of 15 miles or greater at any time. Damage to trees, power lines, and property are possible with winds of this magnitude and power outages likely. Take action, screw loose outdoor objects here. In the latest wind gust so far, Groton, Connecticut at 52. Waterbury, Connecticut, 45. Boston, Massachusetts, 40. Provincetown, Mass, 41. Chatham, Mass, 35. Woodsville, Mass, 49. Martha's Vineyard, 44. Providence, Rhode Island, 35. Newport, Rhode Island, 36. Martha's Vineyard, 44. And Nantucket, Mass, at 45. And minor moderate flooding along the coast. Snowfall report so far. Dudley at 5 inches. Fitchburg at 4.2. Worcester at even 4. And here in Naughton, 2.2 inches so far. And looking at the power outages here, and National Grid has up to 23,264 customers in the dark in Massachusetts here. And checking out National Grid in Rhode Island, formerly Narragansett Electric's got 1,102 customers in the dark. And Eversource is reporting 600 customers in the dark here. The majority of the customers that are in the dark are in the Worcester area with around 10,000. And Eversource in Connecticut is reporting 1,720 customers in the dark. All right, 7-day forecast. It goes like this. For this afternoon, snow before 3 p.m. Then rain and snow. The rain and snow can be at every time. Spice back after 3 p.m. There's a dense freezing fall before 3 p.m. at 34 degrees and breeze to the west-east wind about 16 to 20 miles an hour, as high as 46 miles an hour. Transpiration 100%. Totally 8 times storm accumulation 6 to 10 miles an hour for tonight. Rain and snow showers before midnight, and then chance of snow showers between midnight and 3 a.m. and patch fog before 9 a.m. and low end 20 degrees and north about 13 and 50 miles become a west after midnight. Winds gusts as high as 31 miles an hour. Transpiration 8%. Little no situation expected for Wednesday. A slight chance of snow showers after 1 p.m. Increasing clouds with a high wind 30 degrees and west about 9 to 11 miles gust size 24 miles an hour. Transpiration 20%. Wednesday night, clouds skies. The ground become podcast about 16 degrees and west about 7 to 9 miles gust size 23 miles an hour. Thursday, most sunny podcast about 30 about 14 degrees west about 8 to 10 miles gust size 22 miles an hour. For Friday, sun's about 34 degrees and Friday night, a chance of snow showers. After 1 a.m., podcast about 19 degrees and transpiration 40%. For Saturday, chance of snow showers mostly clouds about 39 about 20 degrees. Transpiration is 35%. Sunday, mostly clouds about 37 about 23 degrees. And for Monday, most sun's about 39 degrees. Currently here in Naughton, it's 32 degrees and light snow and moderate snow. And here in Taunton, it's 33 degrees, heavy snow and fog. And Mansfield, it's 33 degrees and heavy snow. And that is going to be it for the Peter Channel. New News 1 on this March 14, 2017, and on a Tuesday afternoon. I'm Pierce. Have a good afternoon and good positive 82. We'll continue to keep further updates on the storm, and we'll have a full report coming up on the Peter Channel 5 o'clock news. I hope you all have a good afternoon and stay safe.